in Johannesburg. We'll take you back to reporter Lopang Alamu, who's monitoring developments there. So Lopang, we understand that the forensic pathology vehicle has just removed the body from the scene. Talk us through what you're seeing, what you're hearing there now.
See, what you're seeing right now is where the body of the victim was laying. About 15 minutes ago, the forensic van came and collected the father as well as the husband and sister of the family that we are going to speak to at the moment. You'd see that blanket is what was covering him since last night, we understand, and he's been laying there. Quite an unfortunate incident to happen to this community, but they also say they're not shocked by what happened. Gunshots are a constant in this community. Nothing really shocking about what happened here, but they're quite angry at this point because how many more people should lose their lives? I'm walking right now to try and speak to the daughter of the victim. You'd see her there with a baby in tow. I think also we've spoken to the family and we now know what they have been told by the police. We'll also notice the son still not ready to speak to the media, but we'll try and speak to us a bit more about where to from here. Thank you so much for your time once again. We understand that you are the daughter of the victim and you also found out this morning, like the rest of your family, where to from here. I also saw how emotional you were when it's quite expected, obviously, but do you hear anything from the police? What's the communication between you and them?
They said they'll be only taking you tomorrow. We can go to Hillbrow to go and identify again his family. From there, they're going to open a docket of attempted murder. So yeah, that's all we know for now. They took our numbers, our details. They'll update us on things. But we as a family need to go lay his body at rest. So that will be probably next week. And due to finance, it should be during the week. So this situation, my father actually died without the original ID. We only had his documents like a temporary ID. So yeah, at least because he was staying here for a couple of years, he moved back home and in a year's time he was back at this place. But he got in the way of a shootout here, so he got from a peace job. So this is where we found him.
So the last time you had contact with him, was he someone who was going to work? Was he okay?
No, he just sent a letter to my mother, a brief letter to say that he loves us, but for him to stay on the street, he'll be fine. We shouldn't worry. My mother just thought, as it was a few months back, as it's like, yeah, man, you know, this is your father, you know, he's silly. So yeah, today we found him really in the streets.
I don't know if your brother here would be comfortable to speak to us. He seemed a bit more emotional to speak to us. I don't know. It seems he's still a bit emotional from what happened. Jesse, do you want to talk to us about what happened to your father maybe? Let us know if you're uncomfortable.
My sister came, I was busy over the road working, and she came to say my father, they shot my father dead. And I was busy working by my, over the road there, busy to watch the mates. And after that she came, she told me they shot my father through the head.
When last did you speak to your father? How was he?
The last time me and my father were together, and so we lived there. Me and my mother had an argument, and we lived there. That was the last time I was telling you. And his last words when we were sitting together, he was always telling me, my son, my home is under the ground. That's the last time we talked together. We were sleeping on the bed in the morning he left.
I'm so sorry.
And in his letter he did write about you, find me when I'm dead and the Lord's going to carry him. And the things that he was writing is the things that I'm seeing right now there.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Quite an emotional Jesse here, the son of the victim. So we've spoken to two of his children. We also understand that his wife is on the scene, but She was quite emotional. We'll talk to her if we get more time. The family did say that the police took their details. They can only identify him properly at the morgue. They will let them know when to come, but it seems that the body was taken to the Hillbrow mortuary. We also spoke to the councillor a little bit earlier on, but were unable to take him live. I'm going to see if we can't speak to one of them, but it seems he's quite held up at the moment. Let's go talk to the community we spoke to earlier to try and find out where to from here. We did see the police managing to contain what threatened to be a protest here in the Langlaagte area. So this is also part of Riverlea, if we understand it correctly. But the road you see here is the main reef road. So quite a busy stretch of a road, and we're still seeing the community gathered here to try and speak to maybe one of them once more. Sisi kunjani? Dala nilana. How do you feel about what happened? And Amapoyisa, have you spoken to the police since the start of this drama this morning?
Siyathetha namaphoyisa kodwa amaphoyisa awasimameli esidutyulwe khona apha esasidumbu nje basikhona nje ebekhona amaphoyisa into ayenzayo apha wangena in and out apha athatha itshontsho. So umsebenzi awuthi naso ubona into abayenza abasibopha thina xa sithi sivala umgaqo ngoba nomuntu abambophile abamfakile evenini apha ngoba lokho ayomali le babe kuthiwa imali lamuntu lo ngebegijime bayomchola ngoba ngumuntu bayamthatha bamfaka evenini emva kuba kuphume la body phayana azongena amaphoyisa aphinda azokoleka futhi awafuni futhi amaphoyisa ukuthi mayiphele le crime lapha ezama impilo ngoba batya khona ndazi noba babhatala izitournament ngezama impilo na.
Well, there you have it, one of the community members, Siyabonga Mam, saying that their trust in the police is at an all-time low. They claim that the police are accepting bribes, and we'll obviously speak to the South African Police Service to find out if they are aware of such allegations. But we also did hear from the community members who were too afraid, saying that they might put a target on their back, those were their words, afraid to let us know why they believe the police should not leave. You'll notice that there are still police vans, despite, and also quite a huge police presence. You'll see some police over there at the corner by the robots. Our colleague Masavata Galitabo will be showing you the police who are standing there, as well as at the end of the stretch of the road to try and contain what threatened to be a protest. But what we understand from the people who are too afraid to speak at this point is that should the police leave, you'll see some of the alleged zamazamas now resurfacing, because Colonel Mavela Masondo also mentioning that there are quite a lot of illegal miners in this particular informal settlement, Zamimpilo informal settlement. You'd notice that the living conditions are not the greatest. We saw children of school-going age not at school, and those are some of the socio-economic issues that are faced by this particular informal settlement. I see that the councillor is still busy at this point. Would have been lovely to chat to him about what it is that they're doing as the political leaders of this informal settlement. How do they ensure that there's employment for some of these people, and how to remove these illegal miners communities? Because for them to end up here, the police followed them during a patrol. This is where they ended up, where we've just seen the body being taken away, and that's when a shootout ensued. But once again, the community saying they're not shocked at all by the incident that occurred here. It's a daily occurrence from what we understand. Violence, gunshots, crime in general is really high, and we are hoping to speak to the councillor as soon as we get a chance. I think for now I'll leave it there and take it back to you in studio, Mfundo.